My amazing friends and young philosophers, you are just rad. Just for clicking the link, right, and choosing to listen in. Your willingness to open your mind and your heart to learning a little bit more about yourself and also about how to manage those hardcore emotions inside of you is honestly just genius. Your question was, why am I angry all the time and what can I do about it? What a great question. I can't say enough about your honesty and courage to open up and talk about something that you may be struggling with and that you clearly want to do something about. Anger is such a powerful emotion. I like to compare it to fuel, the kind of fuel that can launch a rocket into space, but also the kind of fuel that if you don't manage very well, man, it can be explosive and create a mess for you and for the people that you love around you. Listen, learning to deal with, relate to, and respond to your emotions in an awesome and disciplined way is absolutely critical in this life, and that is something that I would like to begin with right away, is the idea that you are not powerless against your thoughts and emotions. In fact, there are some cognitive theories that say that you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions. In other words, just because you think or feel something doesn't mean that it's real or even an accurate representation of reality. I wonder what you think about what I just said. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. Just because you think or feel something doesn't make it so. I promise I am not trying to confuse you. I just want to lay the groundwork and foundation for some of the skills that I know will be critical as you develop some psychological and emotional discipline in your life. I know that discipline can be a little bit of a scary and intimidating word, but you don't need to be scared of it. You don't need to be scared of being disciplined. It just means that you're powerful and that you can make decisions that are wise, intelligent, and that create more freedom and opportunities for you instead of just being blown about by every wind of emotion that you feel or every thought that comes into that lovely brain of yours. There is a quote by Viktor Frankl that I would love for you to remember. It says, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. And I would add your happiness as well. Let me break that down for you. Between what happens to you and how you respond, there is a space. And my friends, that space is sacred because in that space is your ability to choose and decide what you will do. This is your space. This is where your power and freedom is. And finally, what you do in that space will either contribute to more freedom and growth or a lack of freedom and disappointment. Now, you know that I'm not here to scare you. In fact, I'm incredibly optimistic and hopeful about you and your future, but I also have to be real. What you do matters, period. I mean, think about it. Whether it's your favorite athlete or artist or hero or singer or actor or anyone that you look up to, these people are disciplined. That means that they place the things that matter most first, and the things that matter less, they're secondary. Their life isn't driven by every emotional whim. Their life is driven by their goals, their objectives, and the values that matter the very most to them. By the way, I don't expect you to become some marvel of discipline from one day to the next. You have your whole life to work at this and to slowly become better and more in control of your life. So don't fret if you're not perfect. We're just looking to grow a little here and a little there. I just need that to be the overall direction of your life. You got me? All right. Now that we've laid the foundation, now that you're aware of your power and influence, it's time to talk about some tips and ideas that I know will help you to realize where some of your anger comes from and also how to deal with that anger, bitterness, irritability, and overall moodiness sometimes, right? Are you ready? Okay, 1. I find that angry people have too many rules. They have too many rules about what people should do or shouldn't do. They have too many rules about how people should treat them or not treat them. They have too many rules about how people should drive on the road or dress or behave at school or how they should think or what they should say or do. And anytime that someone breaks those rules, the inevitable outcome is anger, frustration, disappointment, and irritation. Now listen, I'm not afraid of rules, and I'm not suggesting for you to not have any rules about yourself and your life. I just want you to realize that the more rules you have about other people and what they should do and not do, the more upset and angry you will be. because people aren't here to do what you want them to do. They're here to do what they want to do. So stop worrying about how kind or honest or disciplined or cool or respectful other people should be, and instead turn that amazing power, turn that amazing energy towards making sure that you're kind, that you're honest, that you're respectful, optimistic, cool, and disciplined. Man, I hope you can see the difference. In other words, be a little bit more focused on your efforts instead of constantly being critical and obsessed about other people and what they do. I know you will find yourself being so much happier, more productive, and more at peace with yourself and others around you. Number 2, you're only as angry as you believe you have the right to be. Okay, let's unpack this idea for a second. You're only as angry as you believe you have the right to be. In other words, most of the times we justify or rationalize why we're angry. And by doing so, we give ourselves permission to be angry. For example, well, Yuri, I'm angry because my teachers are just the worst. Or if I didn't live in this stupid town, or my coach is so unfair, he's playing his son or daughter instead of putting me in, or my friends are being the worst right now, or my parents don't know anything, or school is worthless. My friend, listen to me. You are not a puppet. This world doesn't control you. Others don't control you. You're not here to be entertained. The world doesn't owe you anything. Circumstances don't control you. You're the boss. You're the chief, the captain of your soul. And the sooner you make the decision to make awesome choices that are intelligent, optimistic, empowering, and wise, the more in control you'll feel over your life and the less angry you will be. Just because someone does this or that, or just because something is fair or unfair, doesn't mean that you need to become this angry and bitter person. Get a hold of yourself. Summon your most awesome self and do the things that will make your friendships and circumstances better. Stop coming up with reasons for why you should be upset and frustrated all the time. Be powerful. Be a peacemaker. Be your own motivational speaker. Be a source of optimism instead of a source of blaming, pessimism, and negativity. Give it a go. Number 3, it starts with a desire to be less angry. Look, your desire to be less angry is an awesome place to start. Just that little seed of an idea, of a desire, I believe will grow in you and help you to achieve your ultimate goal of feeling more in control of your life. Don't underestimate beginning with that desire. It's key. Number 4, build on that desire. Much like the seed that I just described in the last step, we have to nurture that seed. We have to give it water, sunshine, and take care of it. Remember that the goal for you isn't just to be less angry. The objective is to be more cheerful, calm, content, at ease, cool, joyful, upbeat, friendly, lighthearted, pleased, happy, more understanding of others, and giving people a break. We build on that desire. We nurture that seed by deliberately and freely making a choice to be the things that I just listed. It's not just about stopping anger. More importantly, it's about you growing your skills to be at peace with yourself and with others. I promise you that those personal and relationship skills are just as important, if not more important, than any degree that you gain in this life, in part because these skills will help you to attain the life degrees that you're seeking. It's foundational. Think it over. Number 5, remember this phrase: if you want it, give it. I think sometimes we're just too focused on the way others treat us. And I believe that this quote can help you to keep your mind and actions focused in the right place. And that right place is what you can do and what you bring to any situation. It's simple. If you want to be treated with respect, give respect. Don't wait for it. If you want to be treated in an honest way, be honest. If you want people to be kind and fun with you, don't wait for that. Be kind and fun to them. Now remember, there are no guarantees here. Just because you give something doesn't mean you'll get it back, but I guarantee it will increase the chances that you will, and in the end, you build a solid reputation for being someone that is friendly, approachable, fun, and reasonable, instead of someone who is unfriendly, unapproachable, prickly, and unreasonable. So stop waiting for people to treat you in some way, and instead you be the instigator and bring the goodness. 6, learn to listen to people instead of talking over them. Listening has to be the most primary and foundational characteristic of communication. How will we ever understand each other and negotiate with each other if we're not seeking to understand what other people have to say? Close that mouth of yours yours and listen. Give yourself time to think before you stop popping off something that is sarcastic, attacking, demeaning, or meant to hurt other people. Remember that people don't think the way you think. Their opinions are different. They believe differently than you. Their life experience is different. What they want is different. Be less condemning of others. Stop throwing rocks at people and instead be a little curious and listen to what they have to say. You might learn something. 7, people, places, and things. You know this. I've shared this before in my other podcasts. But whenever possible, if there are people, places, and things that are constantly pushing your buttons and trying to instigate conflict and fighting, do what you can to create some distance from those circumstances and start investing your time and energy with different people, places, and things that encourage a whole different vibe. 8, repair. Man, I desperately want you to become a pro at repairing. When you become emotionally flooded or overwhelmed, you may end up saying and doing things that don't match your values, your goals, your objectives, and ideals. When this happens, own it and go repair. We're not looking for perfection. Emotions are hard. They're hardcore and they're challenging to manage. So when you and I fall short, don't overthink it. Instead, get busy apologizing, repairing, and rebuilding. Did you get the steps? Get busy apologizing, repairing, and rebuilding. This is the way of the peaceful warrior. Well, I think we got to wrap it up because there's so many other things that I could talk about, but it's too much. Let's start there. Remember that anger is powerful. Anger can get us to move, to shift, to take action. Anger can help us to protect ourselves and people who are being bullied and harmed by others. Be brave, but learn to manage this emotion so that it can become an asset to you instead of it managing you. Anyways, good luck, and remember that the goal isn't just to not be angry, but to build on the skills to help you to be a peaceful, calm, friendly, and cheerful person.